It's Binance.
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 Largest virtual
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some very, very interesting stuff. We have to talk about the Bitcoin, the crypto supply shock that is potentially incoming. We also have to talk about the Ecomi and VeVe situation with the drops and what is about to happen before, after Blackpink. So yeah, let's crack right on. So good morning to every one of you. I see some of you have noted the new the new intro here. Good morning, Luke. Thanks for always supporting me here on this journey. Thank you, Jonas, also for being here. Hey, intro to the moon, absolutely. I hope I can stay with this intro. This depends highly on the creator of the intro music now. It's listed as license free, but you never know. And Duck and Cover is also here late on the suits me, can finally make the start. Hey, so but you are in the Netherlands, so you should be able to, in our time zone, to go into an early stream. Yeah, it's great to see that a couple of people are here, so smash up the like button directly to pump it out to more people. And I've also posted on Twitter that we'll be live, so hopefully that is bringing in some, or yeah, actually the number just doubled, so smash the like again for the stream to come out to more people. That is the most important thing. And if you want to become a rare hodler like all these people here around me, like Jonas here in the chat, then you just have to become a channel member. And there are a couple of exclusive perks already, besides having a little medal on the side of your name. So there is a Telegram group where at the moment there are close to 20 people in, where we're exchanging our ideas, but there's also more to come, which the people in that group even don't know just yet. But that all in the next couple of days. Duck and Cover says Switzerland. Usually when you start, I'm getting my daughter ready to school. Okay, that's a valid reason to not be on that stream. But let's jump right into the topic. So Bitcoin is green today, and Bitcoin is actually doing what we assumed it to do, challenging the upper line of this flag. After having a big green candle, just like we had it in the intro. So hopefully we're going to continue that. But here we are now seeing that basically this downward sloping line is being tested, is being challenged. At the same time, if you were subscribed to the channel and had already watched this, you would have seen that we had a bullish cross on the weekly stochastic RSI, implying big momentum, and that just seems to go or to hold through. What we need still to have this completely go into bull mode is we need to break this line of stochastic RSI 20, because these um, they only go hard when basically they are going into this blue zone. This counts for the bearish momentum change as well as for the positive momentum change. So that is definitely there. But let's talk some news, some economical things, some things around crypto supply shock, and also what's not so good. Okay, so for crypto or for Bitcoin to go parabolic, I said that it's good to have the rate cuts, and for rate cuts, I said something in the economy needs to break. So we see here that global corporate defaults have surged to a total of 55 so far in 2024, the highest number since 2020 pandemic. This is in line with the 2023 count and 25% above the 10-year average. So in fact, if you are having global corporate defaults, that is something in the global system that is actually breaking. So that could be the reason why collectively the central banks in this world have to pivot soon because of these corporate failures. Defaults have been largely concentrated in the US, which would apply to the Fed lowering rates first. 32 defaults have occurred year to date. The vast majority of defaults have been seen in telecommunications and technology, with 20.9 billion of debt defaults. So, yeah, seems that the high rates are leading to debt default not only in, let's say, weaker economy participants, people with credit card debt or housing debt, but also in the companies. System breaking. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin sentiment quickly. We see here Bitcoin dancing just above 66,000 as small traders continue to liquidate their holdings despite the crypto bounce over the past week. So historically, small wallets dumping their coins to larger wallets is an encouraging and bullish sign for Bitcoin. It's not encouraging and bullish though for those people. If you are someone who has Bitcoin and is considering to dump it, I would strongly advocate against that without giving financial advice, just because we have all the big asset managers, and with every big, I'd say, game-changing asset of this world until now, it was that it was easy for the powers, for the governments to control it. Think about gold, like the pharaohs, the Roman Empire, whatever, like the Aztec leaders. What they concentrated the gold very easy, and there was not so much gold left over for the populace. And then later on, also the governments and the central banks, they concentrated gold, and gold, yeah, there was tiny fractions of gold coming around for the rest of the people, but ultimately they were sitting on the gold. And the same accounts for oil. I would say the discovery of oil is somewhere like, maybe like Bitcoin, just that we don't know the upper limit, right? So also that that was concentrated by the governments, and people, and ultimately governments in the world still have large shares in oil mining endeavors. So with Bitcoin, it could be different. We can buy now, or we could have bought at a third of the price last year. Let's maybe listen to here to Lawrence Leppard. It's a nice little 1 minute talk about 1 minute and a couple of seconds talk about the importance of Bitcoin. And I'm going to put the chat where in the middle. Actually, they will go full screen, so let's keep it right here. Let's listen quickly.
People don't understand, and this is part of the innovation that's really important. Think about Bitcoin's a commodity, right? The SEC said it's a commodity. It is a commodity. One coin's the same as the next. Okay, fine. Every commodity in the world, if you increase its price, the supply goes up. If gold went to 10,000 tomorrow, we'd mine more gold. If corn went up, if oil went to $300 a barrel, we'd drill for more oil. You would get more, higher price, you would get more. No matter where the price of Bitcoin goes, the issuance schedule is set. There's not going to be any more. It comes out, every block is, 6.25 coins right now, soon to be half of that. So that's unique. And I as a result of that, the world has never seen anything that really kind of looks like this, which is why, Ronnie Stofferly had a great chart on it. Showed, Bitcoin from inception has grown at 145% compound annually, and it's got a lower Sharpe ratio than any other asset out. This is an amazing beast. It really is. And so I, look, but it's volatile, and to some it's scary, and I get all of that. But I've long contended that anybody who has zero of this is really, really missing the most asymmetric bet that I've ever seen in 40 plus years of trying to make asymmetric bets.
And I think that is the absolute most important statement. It is an asymmetric bet, also considering the inflows that we can still see. We're going to talk about that also in a second. It's asymmetric because it's the only asset class that we have where the mining rate is scheduled and where the maximum limit is known to man. So I would really say there's nothing comparable, not gold, not oil, not real estate, because from everything you can somehow find more. For gold, even if we would find the last little ounce of gold, we could still do deep space asteroid mining or I don't know what, because we know there is more gold out there on other planets, but there's definitely not more Bitcoin out there on other planets. So really cool sum up here by Lawrence Leppard about the asymmetric potential. And I think if you paid attention, there was also the statement that Bitcoin is posing an annual CAGR rate, so compound annual growth rate of about 100%, 125%, which means that every year holding, like on average, even though you have some years where you go like 80% down, on average every year your holding just doubles. So you can just make the calculation how long you have to hold to reach 1 million or so, right? So yeah, that is very interesting in my opinion. Okay, then let's see. Yeah, so this year's also shows the value of Bitcoin, and I think it's very interesting. So someone just moved 16,445 Bitcoin worth over 1.1 billion on a Sunday for $7.32. So there is a couple of things. So first of all, if you would want to do that on with a regular bank, you wouldn't be able to because banks closed on Sunday. Secondly, the fees would just be crazy, right? And I mean, the mempool tag here even says that the transaction has overpaid 2x, meaning they could have gotten it for $3.66 instead of the $7.32. But probably if you move 1.1 billion, you're just happy that it arrives on the other side, right? But this is impressive in my opinion, and it shows the power of the Bitcoin network, moving funds with that low of fees anytime, anywhere within a couple of minutes. So I mean, I am already shitting my pants basically when I move 5,000 euros from an exchange to my ledger, right, to store my Bitcoin. But then I'm already here like praying and please can this please arrive in time. But sending 1.1 billion, imagine the person responsible just puts in, I don't know, something wrong on the transaction address. It's like, oh my god. I mean, there are people that lost more money in this history for sure. But that would be an epic. Or let's say they send it to wrong address and it's your address. Damn. And it's not KYC'd. Oh my god. Anyways, so let's look at this. So we had the Bitcoin ETFs, and the Bitcoin ETFs are a crucial part at the moment in our price rise and leading to the supply shock that we are going to see very, very soon, in my opinion, and that is because the outflows of Grayscale's BTC Trust and the net flows, they have turned to weekly positive with very, very slightly, barely, but there's no outflow anymore, and that exactly in the week where we are seeing green momentum again, meaning that them stopping to sell has a positive influence on the market, meaning they have been supplying the Bitcoin market over the last 20 months, over the last 2 months, probably also since January. Basically, they have been supplying the Bitcoin market with fresh Bitcoin, and that is something that is going away. I mean, we see it here. That's, by the way, if you wonder, this is not cents, this is in billions, right? So these are here. We have a 2 billion outflow. Yeah, so they were supplying all the other ETFs as well, probably people moving what they had in GBTC to ETF, and then that means a sale here, and then outflow on the other side. But there are companies that disclose shareholdings in GBTC, also because they diversify, right? So what we see here is now a comparison of only what the ETFs bought in the last week and what the Bitcoin miners have produced in the last week. So even if we say GBTC stops selling, we could say, oh, the miners can sell something to the ETFs now. Well, that is only 3,150 in the last week, and here's what has been bought. So obviously we are seeing some green price action here, but we also know from the previous charts that the small people, they're still selling. So basically they're selling to the ETFs right now at a discount price. Instead, had they only held a couple of days more, they would have gotten more for their money. So it's really crazy. Now, obviously, Bitcoin ETFs, they love this. They get to the institutions that are buying these Bitcoin ETFs in those asset managers, they love this, right? And the asset managers love it as well because they can give cheaper Bitcoin to their wealthy clientele, so to their clients. So definitely a thing that will lead to the supply shock, because we are here around 4 times above mining capacity, or about maximum mining output. That is going to lead to a huge supply shock, in my opinion. Also because at some point retail will turn around and come back in. And this is something that we've discussed in many, many videos. If you look at sentiment, we are at bear market sentiment, being we're basically right below previous all-time high. If you see here 67,000, previous all-time high was 69,000. We're just sitting below previous all-time high. And if you discount inflation, we just have to break it again, right? So this is going to happen. And then here, and now I have to move the chat a little bit here, and then we'll move the camera out of the picture, or at least put it like this. Now, here we see it in real numbers. So the blue line is the reserve on exchanges for Bitcoin that is still available, which is falling under 2 million. And if you remember a couple of streams ago, when we were around this zone here in price action, we still were talking about, here 2.12 million. We're now close to 1.9 million Bitcoin available on exchanges, and that number is just falling like a rock. We saw a little turnaround here, but it's falling again. The moment this turns around, that is probably when whales are putting Bitcoin on exchanges to sell the top. So we'll definitely have a closer eye on this. By the way, guys, we have 20 people here, so make sure to smash up the like button right now. Really appreciate you all being here. Let me know what you think when the supply shock is coming in. Are we going to consolidate throughout the entire summer, or are we going to pump in summer and have a huge rally already? So this is the question, right? Then also, this one here is super interesting in my opinion. Also contributing to the supply shock, because the calculation of people is how much is there out there in the world. It's 21 million Bitcoin, right? Actually, it's not. So if we see here, 57% of Bitcoin is held by individuals where Bitcoin is moving. 3.6% held by corporations. 3.9% is held by Bitcoin ETFs. So they've already overtaken government holdings and corporate holdings. Government holdings, 2.7%. This is El Salvador, this is Bhutan, this is the US with the seized Bitcoin. So even that is lower than the Bitcoin ETFs. 6.6% has yet to be mined. This is what is going to be mined over the course of the next 100 years. 5.2% of all Bitcoin is in Satoshi's wallet, didn't move since a long time. So this is very important. 3.4% is what the miners still have left. So this means also if the Bitcoin ETFs want to double their holdings, so if the price would if the Bitcoin amount in ETFs would double, that would mean that miners have to sell everything, and then the rest of the 0.5% has to come from somewhere else. Also pretty crazy to think about this. So this is all contributing to supply shock. But now look at that. We have 17.6% lost BTC. This is crazy because you have close to 20% of the Bitcoin actually, which would be what would be 20% B. So 10% is 2.1 million Bitcoin. So it's 4.2 million Bitcoin that's actually probably very likely lost. Here and there we see some wallets being activated again after more than 10 years. Like sleeper wallets with 500 Bitcoin in it, with 1,000 Bitcoin in it, and so on. So some lucky guy who found his, not lucky maybe, but some guy who found his keys and is able to cash out millions on Bitcoin. But overall, this number must be there and thereabout accurate for the lost BTC. Add this to with the Satoshi probably never going to be accessed anymore is 5.2%. That would be 22.8% of all Bitcoin that is not available. So actually, the calculation based on 21 million is very likely almost a quarter wrong. So that means that probably very likely the scarcity is way higher than it's at the moment calculated and perceived by most of the people that are looking at it. So, and I think that is very important to take into consideration in the end. And individuals, they will be slowly and by the way, this is like until February 2024. This is 2 months ago or so. Individuals, they might sell a little bit here. Corporations will grow, governments will grow, and ETFs will grow. You see the shares here, they will not accept and they will not be able to leave this at this percentage. There will be individuals selling to corporations. Corporations will put this into the balance sheets. Because right now we saw 937 corporations have disclosed this, the Bitcoin holdings, stronger Bitcoin holdings. With 0.5 to 1% or so of the balance sheets. That's nothing. There are close to 50,000 companies in the US with significant money, so to say, only in the US, that could be buying some Bitcoin, and that would require that someone here has to sell to those corporations, and there have to be people selling to the Bitcoin ETFs at any given time. So the Bitcoin ETFs, they will grow. They will be holding at least 10% of the entire Bitcoin supply at some point. I'm pretty sure of that. You guys want to talk about Ecomi? I see that last point here to the supply shock. If we're looking at every Bitcoin cycle that there is, except the very early stage of Bitcoin, but let's look at it from 2014 to 2015, then we see we have one red year followed by three years where the second year is always in Bitcoin history on a larger annual return than the previous one. So the third year, we saw that it can vary, right? But here we see in the last 2 cycles, we saw almost 50% gain, almost 100% gain, and a 300% pump. Now after that we had a 72% drawdown, then a 91%, almost 200%, followed by not getting close to 100%. That was the last cycle. And actually, it shows here also how I believe that this last cycle was more negatively influenced than actually positively. I know all the arguments about printing money and everything, but in total, uncertainty in the world economy led, in my opinion, to selling off risk assets too soon. And this is why we had this weird double top situation combined with inflation, economic failures, fear of a second wave of the pandemic and so on, and then an 83% drawdown. So diminishing returns, diminishing drawdowns? I don't know, because actually look at that, 64%, 72, 83%. So this is a huge drawdown, right? And now 108% return in the first year. Look at that. That is an increase at all of these yearly returns, right? And now the question will be, will we see now this year something in between here, like 100% plus return would bring us to 120,000 for a Bitcoin price by the end of the year, if we wanted to see that to actually to 100, almost 140,000 somewhere there and thereabout, and Bitcoin wouldn't be done then. So, as I said, mark this down. Bitcoin top 2nd of September 2025, probably with the approval of Bitcoin, of Ethereum ETFs, or maybe something like that, right? Or Ethereum ETFs will be approved somewhere and the altcoin cycle top. Something like that could be happening. But you guys wanna, I know you want to talk about Ecomi. I just have to show you one more thing here regarding the Bitcoin cycle. So guys, we've said it many times before. We are in Bitcoin season. No one cares about altcoins compared, like of the rest of the world. No one cares about altcoins just yet. Look at, let me just refresh here. Look at the altcoin dominance. About the Bitcoin dominance, right? So look at the Bitcoin dominance here. Look at the weekly close. Last week, we had a higher weekly close than ever before in Bitcoin dominance. The price is up, or the dominance percentage is up. And by the way, let me just quickly see this. Okay. So just to say, this is the breakout, right, of this ascending triangle. There is a breakout that we had. Can I do this a straight line? Okay, so there we go. So we should, according to this, maybe we can put this a little bit lower. According to this, we should go to at least 58% of Bitcoin dominance. Should be at least going there. And that would coincide with the upper resistance here. Look at that. This is where we should stop our Bitcoin rise. And it looks small, but 3% of a growing market cap, Bitcoin outperforming all the altcoins collectively. That should at least happen, in my opinion, and would be happening with a parabolic Bitcoin rise. And it doesn't have to happen straight away. It just can creep up like we had it here. I mean, look at that. In June last year, we were at 51%. Look at us now. We're up here, right? We're like 5% of trillions of dollars of market cap above. So make no mistake, no altcoin season in sight. It's just going up, 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 right? And once we hit this resistance, I would say, first of all, once we hit this resistance, we could be closer to a Bitcoin top. Second of all, once we hit that resistance, we are closer to an altcoin season. There's no altcoin season right now. It's still altcoin accumulation time. It's still Bitcoin season. And we are waiting for, if this goes up here, sideways, then we will have some kind of a support. which we would break to the downside, we would lose the support, and we would crash completely down with the Bitcoin percentage. And that is where you make the massive gains in altcoin season. It will look like something like this, right? So this is going to be where altcoin season is kicking in hard. Anyways, let's talk about Ecomi. Finally Ecomi. Okay, there we go. So someone said Ecomi is going down. David said, not David you, but David said, let me just quickly see this here. OMI going down fast. It's actually not, I mean, last week, yes. Last week we went down fast, but today, this week, we're green. We're bouncing on this support line again for like, we're in this range for 500 plus days. This is a huge range for whale trading. It's 553 days, there and thereabout. Okay, we're sitting on the lower end of the support. We're sitting at support. This is basically the trading range here. I'm going to delete this though because you know it, right? So we don't need all these lines. So let's see what you guys having in the chat here around Ecomi before we look a little bit more. We can look at some funny things for Ecomi. David, yeah, but if you go back through the chart, this price range has been the bottom for a long time. You gotta go back pretty far to see a drop lower than this. Actually, it has wicked several times lower than this. There is somewhat of a support at 00051. Which I would say that David is even, David could be even right that we see another liquidation wick down to 00051, which would be this here. Like, do you see where the whale is? We could still see this happening. Like a scare wick. We saw an attempt, but it got bought up here. But we saw it 2 times here. So we could see it a third time before we go up. We could. I mean, we need a whale to dump into that for that, and we need a big buy order to scoop it up. So first deadline for ETH ETF approval is in a couple of days. For sure gonna be kicked down the road, in my opinion. Yes, and I have to, maybe this is a good time to talk about it. Ethereum ETF. I have been of the opinion that it should be approved. It will be approved. I'm still of the opinion that it will be approved, but I'm 100% with you that it will not be approved on the 23rd of May because we just didn't see all that interaction between the SEC and between the asset managers for like making adjustments, taking out the staking mechanisms and this and that filing and amendments to the filing and whatnot. So all that interaction, like we had that with the Bitcoin ETF. Every third day there was something coming out, and then since we're now 3 days away from a potential approval, and we didn't see that, we also didn't see the asset managers proclaiming their fees and what they're going to want to charge for holding Ethereum. So probably the asset managers also know that it's not going to happen in this cycle. But that's basically my take on the Ethereum ETF. So yes, I'm changing my opinion here on that. It's not going to come on the 23rd. David says OMI will be down to 0005. We had seen that. Nature Symphon says, David, I understand the sentiment, but now is the time to buy or hodl if you have your bags packed. It's safer now than ever before to buy. The probability of dropping that low would be quite low. There is only one probability where I see it dropping below this whale accumulation point where we see these wicks, and that is a big, huge failure in like whatever in VeVe or Ecomi, something happening, like losing a certain lawsuit, or the app just like them proclaiming bankruptcy, then it will go to zero. But other than that, I would say that this is an asymmetrical option or probably like asymmetrical probability. If it does well, then it is trading at a huge discount compared to all other projects in the market that have already pumped a couple of 100%. And this is why I have been holding what I have, like my 4.2 billion, not that would be a dream, 4.2 million ohms. I still have them. I hold them on Ledger, so I haven't done anything with it. But yeah, I could see that we will turn around just like here, and go back up again. I don't know if it will be because of Blackpink or if it will be because of any Ecomi mechanic that's going to come out. But if you want to see the potential reasons of what could be happening, then make sure to check out my video on Ecomi that I launched yesterday. Finally, a nature walk video again, right? And see it there. So yes, this is absolute dog shit, so to say, that we are in this range right now. But it's also, and I'm saying if, I'm not going to encourage anyone to buy Ecomi. This is not financial advice. Not going to encourage anyone, since I haven't bought since a long time. But if you want to have Ecomi, that is your range to buy. That is your range to buy. And I mean, if we would get this wick and bottom here and go up and break this, we would have basically triple bottomed here, which is hugely a bigger, like this would be a big formation. The only thing that really sucks, and someone said, maybe we go into the comments in a second from my latest video, because someone actually put a very great point about liquidity here. This was the first time we saw bigger liquidity, and it wasn't followed up, right? I mean, I hope that we can see bigger liquidity coming in here. We saw here a little bit more liquidity, but there is nothing worse than a token with very little liquidity, because traders want to use that, and traders bring new liquidity, and then if there's more and more and more liquidity, then exchanges will list it, and then there's more and more and more. So we really want to have that liquidity, that volume. Sales looking really rough lately. I low-key think Blackpink is going to flop, especially beyond the first drop. I think people are just getting fed up with the lack of delivery. I don't know if it's that. I have a different theory about this. I think Blackpink will sell decently. I think the first round of drop, like the first day of drop, will definitely sell out. That I think that maybe not the common, but the ultra rare and stuff like that will sell out. I hope that we are seeing some severe user inflow there. The question is, I mean, they would have already known, so they will have made the numbers based on the signups, right? So because they did all the signups and the marketing, and then they did, or maybe the numbers were already agreed on way before with the Blackpink managers or whatever. That could also be. So we will see. But I have a theory why these drops are down. Maybe let's quickly look at this. So first of all, thanks for Living Aloha to Living Aloha to always put out this analysis. So here we see the two drops, and we're seeing the drop. So Kawaii also sold out 17%. This is a Tokidoki drop. And this is something that is quite good accepted in Asia, right? So you would expect that, if there are people from Asia in here for Blackpink, you would expect them to go for a Tokidoki drop also, right? Not the case, okay? So the drop price was only $15, and they sold about 1.2 thousand of them, having a gross revenue of close to $20,000. It's not shabby, but it's also not good. It means that the numbers were not perfect for this drop. If it had been a little bit more scarce, that would have been better, right? So selling out, probably right now they sold out 20%, since there is already 20 hours and they are still minting some. And then on the other side, we see here the Little Mermaid sells out 23%. So that's a little bit better, right? because the price point was 35, and that, but it's it's the first appearance and so on for the Little Mermaid as a 3D collectible. Still, and grossing here almost 40k. So that definitely is a thing. And then let's see if we have user numbers also here from him. If not, we have to find it out a little bit later. So the last user numbers that we got was May 18th, so that's already 2 days ago, which was pre-drop, with 6 new active wallets, about 1,000 active wallets, 103 minters, and 3,000 mints. So that's crazy, because look at that. There are only 103 wallets minting of 1,006. So the rest is on secondary market, seems to be. Or the VeVe comics are not calculating correctly. Something like that could be happening, right? Are going for the Blackpink drop on Wednesday. I think it's on Wednesday, right? On the 22nd? No, actually that's on Wednesday. So today is Monday. So we want to see a spike, or at least like a line up here, like of a couple of hundred new wallets. That's what we need to see, in my opinion. Yeah, for the VeVe user numbers. So we can also see, this is always good, like if you go to VeVe Immuter Scan, you always can see what's being minted, I mean, everything of this is like, it's good for VeVe, right? If you see like, oh, there's a comic that is not sold out, someone mints, that's good for VeVe. The problem is with the Ariel drop is that people minted until they have minted all secret rare crafts, and then the drop was not interesting anymore. Why would you buy then on drop if you cannot craft secret rares anymore, right? Then you have to buy the secret rare from secondary market, so people are now buying the set as a discount on secondary. So probably that's it, right, for the drop with 25%. Okay, so let's look a little bit more in the chat before we go to look at some more statistics. So you guys are very active here. Omi at such low prices, and for those of us that have been holding onto our Omi for years, I imagine the sell wall at 007 and our previous high are gonna be insane. It depends. So it depends, because if somewhat would create such a retail inflow, it could be a non-event. But I agree with you. My prediction, so my end of year prediction in a bull case on around the Ecomi-verse, like we get an altcoin rally end of year, would have been 007. I was called way off by Randy with that we were way too low with a 007. We will see. I hope I'm wrong, but 007 is the best I can see until the end of the year, and I'm at this point in time, I'm even uncertain it will get there by the end of the year. Duck and Cover says, I heard we are supposed to get a community update at the end of the month. That would be good. Then I want to stream it if I can. Also says, everyone's stretched their limits. I know I can't afford to put more money, and there's no flipping to be done. This is a very good point. So from all the let me just get the picture here quite in. So from all the economic stuff that we are looking at, there's a reason why we look at that, because everyone is feeling, except maybe you are doing very well for yourself, but everyone else is feeling the pressure of prices, and everyone is feeling that their governments are lying to them, because they're like, oh yeah, inflation is transitory, and oh yeah, inflation is not that bad, or even my absolute favorite on inflation is when they're saying at TV or radio, the inflation rate is going down. That means prices are going down. What a bunch of bullshit, right? So, I mean, prices are not going down because the inflation rate is going down. It's still positive. You would have, this is just, and I cannot believe that so many people are believing this story, right? So people are, oh yeah, now everything's getting better because inflation is from 3.4 to 3% or so, for 3.5 to 3.4%. Why can I not move everything together here? There we go. This is putting pressure on people, and I see it for myself also in summer, right? So I'm going to travel. I had some other expenses, and now I'm basically not, for June and July, I basically don't have money left over for VeVe drops. Okay, so would I have some money left over for VeVe drops right now? Then I would go for some of these things, right? But I don't. So I figured that many people are in the same situation. But then again, at some point, people will get a raise. At some point, some salaries will catch up with the price development, and people will have money left over. At some point, interest rates will lower, stimulus will flow into the economy, and it sounds stupid because we're talking about digital collectibles for VeVe, and we're talking about macro things like the economy, and it sounds so ridiculous, but it is actually the main driver whether people are buying or not buying at the moment. It's actually not together with the narrative, right? But it's actually not something, oh, I'm fed up with this and this mechanic. No, it's a simple fact that many people in this app at the moment don't have money to put into every single drop, because if you want to get every drop this week or the next week together with this week, you need like $1,000 or so for that spare left over. It's just not happening. People are selling their crypto still because of that. Within 1 year, OMI will be at 0003. I don't think so, David, to be honest. I don't think so. Nature Symphon says, once we get OMI to NFT, there will be new liquidity coming into VeVe. Floors will get eaten up. I just wonder how VeVe will handle users exiting VeVe with OMI, and will... what's that? Why is my chat always cutting off the side? And will we really get OMI burns? Yeah, I think we will get OMI burns. I think so. I think they will find a mechanic to burn VeVe, to burn OMI outside of the VeVe app. Wouldn't surprise me. They skirt OMI burns altogether. I don't think so. Then if they do that, then it will be very frustrating. They will not. If they want to maintain Ecomi VeVe alive, they will bring burns. Without burns, the token will not survive, and without the token, VeVe will not survive. I'm saying it again. I'm going to constantly say this. VeVe user inflow is going to come from Web3, and this is why I need to have the token on exchanges and push the token out via big crypto influencers. And VeVe knows that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone with Wendy O for the Blackpink, because there's no way that this is a partnership, in my opinion, with Wendy. It's not just Wendy's daughter being a Blackpink fan. It's also, there's a partnership, right? So I think that, and it's a good partnership for pushing out VeVe to more people, right? What makes you think OMI will go up to 007? Oh yeah, I can tell you. Just the altcoin rally I'm expecting in the end of the year. Doesn't matter. VeVe just needs like a slight narrative until then, and then you would just get the inflows just because of the altcoin rally. In a bull case, right? So let's say they manage until September, October to bring OMI to NFT. And yeah, that's basically it. Hey Energy, what's going on? When we have OMI to NFT, do you think Ecomi will try to advertise and grab more of the Web3 crowd? Yeah, exactly. That's the point that I was getting at right now. They have to, because everyone who is here came in through the Web3 space. Like you can all cater to the masses outside of Web3. It will not work, because Ecomi VeVe is an NFT project with metaverse aspects, with gaming aspects, maybe catering to a digital audience that is interested in decentralization and ownership, which both you have to somehow bring to people. I think the other aspect that really can change the game here is to bring some kind of interoperability and self-custody, because this will raise huge attention in the space. So again, if I was VeVe, I would bring interoperability. Like, I would agree with some kind of artist from the app, like Ron English or something like that. I would agree with, or let's say Ron English, or I don't know. Use what was the name? Mumbot, or was it Mumbot with the so a couple of someone who has only a couple of NFTs, right? You give interoperability on those NFTs and let people move it out of the app, right? That would be interesting, because you wouldn't really lose anything by that, and you can try something out with that. So let's see. Duck and Cover says, I'm praying for Omi to NFT next month. David did say Ecomi to NFT is the focus this year. I don't think it will happen next month already. From a cycle timing wise, it would be too early. I would go for September with that if I was Ecomi VeVe, just because if you have a bit, like, if Bitcoin starts pumping to 80, 90k, then just bring it into the narrative. But I would really wait until altcoins are coming back as well. And altcoins have been consolidating since 2 months now, and many altcoins are down like 50-60%. So the focus on altcoins is just not there yet. And I think first of all, we need a narrative bridge. And the narrative bridge, I would say, would be some, like, more from the gaming. Like, you have Web3 gaming doing really well. Let's say it's doing really well in September. And then you're like, oh, look, we partnered with that Web3 gaming project that is doing really, really well, and bring collectibles for that Web3 gaming project, right? So that would be really cool. Some token rise and pure hype, they won't even buy Omi to buy collectibles. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is just pure speculation. It's coming every time. You see even that tokens do a couple of 100%. So there's really no reason to believe why Ecomi wouldn't move on that. I mean, Ecomi moves in this trading range 100% to 001 usually. This will happen again, I think. And by the way, it will be whales control, because whales are so big with their holdings. They will control when the price breaks out, and just not selling into the price anymore. Ducky Cover says, and Ecomi has been tweeting about Omi more lately. Yeah, absolutely great. This is also something that we were talking about that we would need. It's way better if the Twitter channel is active, and I hope they will stay active. Energy says, so brunch coffee today? Yep, because it's public holiday. I wanted to sleep in, and I did, so we are later online here. By the way, we have 40 people here, so guys, can we get 40 likes under this video? Would make me very happy. Doesn't cost you anything. Like, if you're on the phone, just flip it to the side, subscribe, and like. I know that the London police have been pushing to be the first interoperable NFTs on VeVe. Oh, that would be cool. If the London police did that, that would be cool. Because then they can do the full Web3 thing, like fidgetals with their pictures as they do it. London police being able to move out, that would be cool. Should I buy more collectibles or more Omi? I cannot tell you that, because I have both. Like, so listen, full transparency. I'm telling it many times, but I'm going to tell here, full transparency. I'm going to show you. I have put a little more than 10,000. I would say I put $12,000 into collectibles, and a part of this is my VeVe Gold logo. So let's just take this out because I will not liquidate this. So it's worth half. I'm down 50%. That's actually better than I'm doing with Omi. So I'm down 50%. Let's just say roughly down 50% on my collectibles, okay? Actually, not quite, because this is not correct. The number's not correct. I'm actually at 11,600, okay? Because it doesn't count all my comics. And yesterday, it's funny, I couldn't identify why, but my comics holdings rose $600 in one day yesterday. I don't know why. I checked all my secret rares. It was not the floor of my secret rares. So I don't know why it went up by 600. Must have been some kind of a scarce ultra rare that I have or so. But I was too lazy to check all the prices. Maybe we can see the 7. Okay. Was it one of those? So here we see some of the collectibles doing some pumps. That could be it, because I have a stack of this common. And I also have this one. I have this ultra rare. So these two together, but that doesn't do the deal. So here we see the performance of some of the collectibles. So apparently, for so many users being active, some collectibles are doing pretty well on the week. Yeah, so we see this here. And it's all comics, by the way. And guys, I have to say it again. I'm bullish on comics. Why? Because comics in showrooms, comics in VeVeverse will happen. All the other collectibles have already their AR showroom thing, but comics in VeVeverse will happen and in showroom, and it wasn't there yet, right? So this will be a thing. You will be able to build with the comics. So, and this is a catalyst that is yet to come. So let's check the daily move. So apparently, lol. Okay, Marvel there's like some random things jumping in floor, right? Look at this thing here. I mean that thing is 2,000. It just jumped over 115%, and it's up like across like 6-month high. It's on a 6-month high. This is something interesting to see. We are going to look at the losers as well, but let's just look at the winners here. This thing here is down pretty hard. I mean, it's still down 60%. So this is a poster or something, right? But look at the Vader, for example, Darth Vader shuttle is up 110% the last 6 months. Also, it seems to be that the more scarce items have a little bit of a turnaround here. New Mutants up. Let's see what's on this. Like, there's a couple of collectibles that is up on the day. Let's see what's up on the 6 month. Okay, what the heck? Captain America comic is at an ultra rare at $990, up 5,000%. Devil Dinosaur secret rare at 700. This thing is always up like crazy. 5,000. Haunted Mansion, for whatever reason, doing 7x. By the way, let me get this a little bit more, like you can see everything. This is crazy, right? So let's see here. Energy says my comics went up too, but sometime monthly delistings are the reason. But the monthly delistings, they are not at one date, right? They are at are they across the board? Like, are they at one specific date? Because I thought that they just like listings expire after 1 month, so they expire exactly 1 month after you're listing it, so you have that effect constantly, right? Okay, but here we see some things just going nuts for no reason, or not for no reason. So will we be able to identify maybe some look at that comic, for example, being at this Uncanny X-Men comic here, being at $600. I remember the secret rare was really low. This one also did really well. This one dropped when I was in Croatia a year ago or so. I remember I have the ultra rare of this one. Let's look at the absolute losers. Okay, so here are the absolute losers over the last 6 months. The Star Wars poster of episode 5. There is 12,000 of them, and it's sitting at $5. Actually, this one, this rare, is down 80% of the Warlock comic. This is because they have been trending. They were considered very scarce with only 1,000 editions. Now we have way more scarce collectibles there. The Frankenfat Gold Silver is down pretty bad. This is because probably because the gold logo holders, I think they got this one basically airdropped. So there must be a lot of profit taking on this one, but it's still at $80, so not too shabby. But this one dropped quite hard. This ultra rare also down pretty bad, but the prices overall of those that are down pretty bad, they're still high. So it seems that they've been too high before. But what we see sometimes, we see some collectibles like the Coca-Cola one at $4 because there are so many of them, like 8,000 of them. That is the thing. Yeah. So this is quite fun to have this market analysis. And again, at Stacker we don't have all of the comics. Here's a cool one, this Young Avengers comic, for example, sitting at 30. It has 600 editions, so it's now trading more like an ultra rare, probably. But overall, we see that what we should look at is daily change, maybe. But daily changes again, it's like, oh, this pumped 4x and now it lost 1x basically. So it pumped to 80, was cut in half after that, this ultra rare. Yeah. So it's still all over the place. I think people, these things are just changing hands, and we're going to see what they're being exchanged to. So let's just see. I have some time on my hands here, so let's really dive a little bit deeper. So what's being bought, right? So people are buying some low-key stuff, but look at that. There was just a transfer of a Riso Batman. Someone bought a Riso Batman, right? So these are all trades. Some have no metadata yet. And here is like, these are $1 comics. That's also something that I do personally. I want to buy a $1 comic almost every day, or every day from now on. Just buy a $1 comic that I don't have. So it will give me MCP. Maybe it will rise like 3, 4, 5x in price in the bull market. We will see. It's just a speculation. If not, it's $1 per day that's gone. That's fine for me. But we see here sometimes there are mints. So for example, here people are still minting this drop from the store. Trying their luck on this. So even with the secret rare sold out, they're still selling a couple of these, which is cool, right? What else? Here are more transfers of these. Lamborghini sold, Aventador. Here's a golden moment that sold. That's also interesting. What else? Is there any other specials? Like a lot of the comics, a lot of the comics from, by the way, it seems, I'm not sure, but it seems that the VeVe comics from the website is that they are here as transfers, but the mints from the website, are they showing on a Mutascan? They should be, right? They should be showing on a Mutascan. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. Let's look at the whales also. I'm going to get rid of everything. Let's just look at the whales. Let's go with this. Okay, so, and refresh the page for the whales. Let's see here. So net accumulation is still up. It's calculating until yesterday. So this is interesting, right? So we have a daily net accumulation on 70 and a 7-day average of 531. So net accumulation is up. Let's see here. Nature, Symphon, Marvel number. One common comic is highly disrespected, stacking some at the moment. Oh, that's great. Yeah, MC1. I have 4 of them, I think. Something like that. Duck and Cover said, gotta run. Cheers for the stream. Thank you, Duck and Cover, for being here. Thank you to each and every one of you, by the way. A lot of things I still want to buy. So energy is one of those that is going to accumulate as well. Here we have the net accumulation. So Bezosman is going to go to 50,000 soon. 50,000 collectibles. That is a significant portion of the market. Right? So he's not, by the way, he is going all on secondary. He's not minting. He just bought, but he just buys. He just buys on secondary because it's usually more cheaper, right? So there you have it. Your biggest whale is buying secondary. Okay, so let's look at second place. Second place is going to hit the 20,000 mark soon, very soon. Bought 72 for whatever reason, sold 1. Maybe there was a small deal going on or whatever. But then you see this here, right? This guy is like number 9 is going completely nuts. 13,000 collectible and rising, minting, buying like crazy, not selling anything, net inflow until yesterday, 914 collectibles. So we see here actually we have I'd say 500 here and then another 1,000 here, 1,500 on a weekly, and here we see 200. Here someone is selling a little bit but also bought something. Seems like more like a rebalancing going on. 106, 300 here, and then some like 2 digits here, someone selling. Yeah, but overall, also we don't know who's selling to at the moment to liquidate or to get some funds out for Blackpink, right? So hey brother, please support. There is no not such a tab, guys. There is not such a tab. That is fake news, guys. Fake news. Yeah. What do you even mean? Oh my god. Yeah. That is just not true. Nature Symphon says, do you think minting a collectible and holding on to it without selling could achieve the same comparative value as buying a physical collectible and being the first to sell it? Yeah, I think it could be more powerful even in digital because it's easier. It should be, in a bull market, it should be easier to sell. Energy says I'm sitting on position 57. Okay, let's look at Energy's position 57. 50. Oh, two. Okay, so here's Energy. Got him. Oh my god, you guys are degenerates. I love it. Okay, so here. Here is I think by the way, I think you're talking about this one, right? That's hot dope, exclusive content on Boosty, which is the music for my intro. Okay, wow, 45 people here, so stream's going nuts right now. So look at that. Okay, so Energies, this is Energy, guys. Energy has 4,139 in the collection. Minted 63 collectibles from store, purchased 3 in the market, and didn't sell anything. Is that you, Energy? It seems so weird. I think you're buying. I thought you were buying more than that. Only like all the comic mints should. That's the 63 mints, right? That's the comic mints. But purchasing from secondary, you don't do much, right? Well, anyways. Nico is also here. Yo, what's going on? welcome to the stream. By the way, here we go. So let's look a little bit here at what's going on in the next week with VeVe. So this is interesting, right? We didn't talk about this yet, but we have this thing is, no, it's not, it doesn't have to do anything with a certain site that was just mentioned. Yes, it's not brought up. This is the light stick on VeVe, right? Okay, so please, guys, please. It's not what you think it is. This is not a butt plug. Okay. Yeah, so silver stick, uncommon. 2,500 also. Gold stick. And the diamond plug, stick. 1,140 for 25 gems. So a diamond version could be attracting people, right? And then you have the stage. And the stage is a secret rare at 50 gems list price. So interesting will be, so this seems to be all in a blind box. And there, I'm not quite sure. Like the stage is the chase, right? But on the other side, wait, what? So let's see here. Why is it on 4,000 editions though? So this is the secret rare. Fans can showcase their love for the global phenomenon Blackpink wherever you go. Recreate the electro K-pop concert with the Blackpink stage. So you can put the collectibles there. But is this a craft? It doesn't seem like it, right? Or is this like separate? So here's a blind box, right? But how is this blind box like having all these sticks here in the diamond version, and then you have the stage together in it? Is that what's going on? Oh yeah, let's see here. So this is weird to me. Energy says more minting the last week. Yeah, crazy. Energy is crazy. Matt Huyn says 8 p.m. here in Australia, prime time live hotline. Let's go to the other side of the world. That is cool. That is cool that we're in prime time here for Australia. WF says let's go Aussie. Let's go all the Aussies. SL, when you start talking Bitcoin, I did already in the beginning of the stream. You have to go back to the beginning of the stream. This is one of my longest streams, by the way, because I have time, right? So, okay, so it's 12 p.m. here. This is like lunchtime now. Watching you from Belgium. So let me know where you're watching from, guys. And we're going to go a little bit here, rambling on about the drop. But this looks cool. The question is, and it has the Blackpink official logo on it, which is, I think, this is the only collectible that has the Blackpink logo on it. Here you can barely see it, but I think on the diamond you can really see it very well. Nature Symphon says, dropping off, thanks for the stream. Yeah, glad to have you here, by the way. Good to see you. Hi there, Hey is also here. Good to see you again. Saying Randy and a few others posts mentioned something about Boogeyman no longer being in the token, implying he's no longer a problem. Are they talking about the guy who used to work for Ecomi? I know the one. Yes, Boogeyman is a synonym for the guy that you're talking about. I don't know, is he like Lord Voldemort, or are we just not allowed to use his name? Anyways, yeah, they are talking about this guy with a B in the beginning. The you-know-who. They're talking about him. I think the lawsuit's still going on. I think he might not be in the token anymore. I'm not sure about that. Maybe we can get some of the wallet analysts to do that. Nico's tuning in from Barcelona. Buenos dias, my friend. Originally from Germany, though. Okay, guten Morgen. Actually, guten Morgen is wrong with the time here, right? Yeah, Barcelona amazing. I didn't see anything of the city, but the tapas were really good when I was there for business days. Alan Thompson says, "Yo, PH, watching in Manchester here. Manchester? Yeah, that's a city that I still have to visit. I have been to London when I was a child, like in school. I was on an exchange, and we were 1 week in London, and then we were living 3 weeks with a British family in Cornwall. That was awesome. I loved it. I mean, I'm from the north, originally from the north of Germany, and I'm used to bad weather, right? So definitely a thing. When you start talking chilies, actually there is something to start talking chilies, because I think chilies is introducing burn mechanisms very soon, like all their new tokenomics and so on. I think that is about now or in a week or so. So I think there needs to be something about chilies for sure. Do you think Blackpink will sell out? Obviously you will, but what about the commons? Depends on the user inflow, I would say, because the commons, if someone buys the commons, is probably the new users. I think all the VeVe guys will go for a flip on the Blackpink figures. So let's see here. Here's the article, right? So it depends also like on the pose, right? So for example, you have like this common pose here. If people love this pose, maybe they are going to buy this like crazy, right? So it could be that new people are more like, hey, I want to have this pose, right? Or they're like, I want to have this pose, rare. So we don't know yet what they really like. And also they might be like, oh, this is my favorite pose and it's cheaper. It's only on 40. So they just want this. You never know, right? And then also there must be a lot of buying for the craft. So if some people are buying the pose just to have the pose, but then people need the common to craft the card, it could put more. We don't know. Let's just put it this way. We don't know. Colmo says, I am in Orlando. Please surprise to wake up and see you live. Yo, let's go on everywhere. Orlando? Wait, that must be really early for you, right? In Orlando? Anyways, we're getting like a lot of people here with this. But on that note, like I think a lot of people will go for these crafts here, and you need 2 cards of Lisa, for example, to craft this. So if you're a big fan, you want to have all of these, right? But that also means you have to double craft this card, right? But then again, if the card sells out, then there will be no pressure anymore on the collectibles, so then probably people are going to floor them. So it will be for sure interesting to see. Probably if you want to have a golden or a pink one of those, you probably want to go for it on secondary, because all the speculants are going to floor them at some point. Yeah. But that is it, basically it, guys. I'm excited. I'm still excited. I know that VeVe has a rough time selling out the stuff, but now Blackpink is going to be for sure interesting. We don't know if it's going to be a turnaround event or not, but it's for sure going to teach us something, right? So we're going to stay very close, keep our finger on the pulse of the market, and we are going to stick very close here. If you're a rare hodler, don't forget to stay tuned closer to this channel, even closer to this channel now, because there are some things coming that I have planned. Also, if you're not a rare hodler yet, consider becoming one to have access to our Telegram group, to have access to the stuff that we're doing. And yeah, that is basically it. Iron Man says, I'm glad to make it to live stream. Well, you're very late for this because we're about to end it right now. Guys, we have over 40 people here. Really appreciate that. Smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Let me know in the comments below or in the chat what you think about VeVe at the moment, doing more or less good only. And guys, wherever you are on the world, have this great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next live stream, video, whatever update. Stay tuned to the channel. Have a